All too often we can hear people say to us, oh, you need to give yourself some self-care or self-love in order to feel better or to improve your mental health condition. But clients come to me and they'll describe, well, you know, I get self-care and I get self-love, but how can I do that when I'm so tired, exhausted, and I'm feeling just empty? I don't have motivation. I don't have the desire to get up and go and ultimately fill from my empty cup. I'm Tanya Weston. I'm a psychotherapist experienced in cognitive behaviour therapy and EMDR, and I treat a range of mental health conditions. In this video, I'm going to explore ways in which you can fill from an empty cup, even if you're feeling flat, you've lost your mojo, you're just wanting help, something to kind of show you the way. So hopefully these 5 steps will help you make a start. So number 1 is to consider your thinking style. So thinking styles, there are quite a few of them, and some of these might resonate with you. So some examples are catastrophizing. So a thinking style that, you know, when something happens, something that might be quite trivial after the event, but at the time it's catastrophic. You catastrophize what's happened, you know, it feels like the end of the world. Another example could be black and white thinking. It's either this way or that way. There's nothing in between. Other thinking styles might include filtering. So filtering out the positives, so only focusing on the negatives. So mental filtering. So there's about 12 of these thinking styles, and it'd be really helpful to consider which thinking style you adopt. And how can this help you fill from an empty cup? Well, sometimes if you recognise your thinking style and notice when your thinking style is showing up, you can challenge it. It's just a thought. So if you're catastrophising, you can truly ask yourself, actually, am I blowing this out of proportion a little bit? If I just kind of pull this back and think of a different perspective, then, you know, it's not so bad. So it helps us heal, it helps us kind of fill our cup. It helps us put a little bit of water in instead of taking it all out. How much attention have you given to negative thoughts, criticism, what somebody said to you, and filtered that to only hear the negative? When actually, if you reflect back on today, how many positives have you felt or heard? How many good things have come out today? And recognise and notice the filtering that you're putting in place, and remind yourself of the good stuff. If you're liking what you hear so far, please give it a thumbs up so that other people can gain and benefit on how to fill their empty cup. So number 2, so this one might sound obvious, but really important. Listen to your feelings. What are they truly trying to tell you? So if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling fatigued, exhausted, or you're feeling kind of just a bit low, any type of feeling that might show up for you, ask what your feelings are trying to tell you. So it may be your feelings are trying to tell you, I need an early night, I need to get myself to bed. Another example might be, if you're feeling sad, what is it that made you feel sad? Explore that feeling, explore what's showing up for you. And that's when you can kind of bring the thinking styles back into play, and almost consider an alternative viewpoint. Okay, the third one is to consider the language you use when you're talking about yourself. So here we're not asking you to go out for a walk or do something physical or anything else. Self-love can be about the language you use. So it's quite easy, even if you're tired, to fill your cup simply by thinking about the language you use. So by that, I mean, if you find yourself saying should, I really should get to bed now. I really should go for a walk because I know it'll make me feel better. I must get the packed lunches made for tomorrow. I must meet that deadline for the boss. I could go out for a run in the morning. I could squeeze in that extra job. So the key words we're looking at here are should, must, could. They're all negative kind of words that drain us of our energy. So instead of should, instead of must, instead of could, try switching those words with a different language. Wouldn't it be really good if I went for a walk? I'm going to feel so much better. I'm going to get that deadline done because that would be a great weight off my mind. You know, they're just two examples of how you can use a different language to bring about a different outcome, taking that negativity out of the should, must, could. I'll ask you to consider for the day ahead or tomorrow if it's late in the evening, how many times and how much you notice you say the words should, must and could. It'd be really interesting what you notice. Put them in the comments and let me know if you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realise how much I use those words. And simply shifting those words has already made a difference. I'd love to hear in the comments. Okay, the fourth step is behavioural activation. Okay, so behavioural activation is about doing something really small to shift that kind of behaviour. Ultimately shifting thoughts and feelings into positive ones. So for behavioural activation, it might be that you feel the house is a complete mess. There's just stuff everywhere and, you know, it's overwhelming. I can't get to it. I'm tired. So behavioural activation would be just doing that one thing. So, I don't know, let's take the bedroom, for example, and there's clothes everywhere. There's stuff that needs washing. There's stuff that needs kind of putting away. There's clothes that just need hanging up, putting in the drawer, whatever it might be. And the task with behavioural activation is to go, okay, I want you to think and get 5 items of clothing, and I want you to hang those 5 items of clothing or put those 5 items of clothing in the drawer, put them away. So you're not saying I want you to clear the whole of the bedroom, the whole of the house. We're just saying behaviourally activate one aspect of that thing that's really bugging you. Once you've behavioural activated, one of two things will happen. You'll either put those 5 things away and feel really accomplished and go, do you know what, that's more than I've achieved in the last 3 days when I've been trying to get to this. Or something even better will happen. The 5 things you put away leads to the next 5 things, that then leads to the next 5 things. And before you know it, you've cleared the whole bedroom, everything's put away, everything's neat, and you're feeling really accomplished. And that lifts your mood and effect. So therefore, you're kind of filling that cup. You're like, you know what, if I can do that tomorrow, I'm going to start on this, you know, whatever that next thing might be. So for example, you know that, you know, it'd be great if you went for a walk, but really haven't got the energy. So behavioural activation might be, do you know, I'm just going to put my trainers on and walk to the end of the, I don't know, the drive if you've got a drive, the post box if you've got a post box near you. Just set yourself at something like, do you know what, I could be there and back in 2 minutes. I'm just going to behaviourally activate and put my trainers on and get to that point. Again, one of 2 things might happen. You get to the post box or whatever it is, and you come back and you go, well, do you know what, that's 2 minutes than I've done in the last month. Or something even better will happen. Behavioural activation, put the trainers on, you get to the post box, you're like, actually, this is really quite nice. I'm gonna go for an extra 5 minutes. So behavioural activation can be really powerful in filling your cup when it's empty. Now that you've heard 4 steps, and I'll come on to the 5th one, if this is really valuable, useful, hit subscribe and you'll get more videos like this for a range of different complex mental health conditions, and you might benefit from future videos. So on to the final way in which to fill from an empty cup. So number 5, sleep. Okay, sleep is the bread and butter of mental health and well-being. So it might be difficult if you're doing shifts, it might be difficult if you're kind of juggling kids and work and life and complexity of what life offers us, but sleep is king. It's non-negotiable. Okay, so almost really think through your sleep. You could complete a sleep diary. You could monitor what time you go to bed, what time you wake up, and how much sleep you're actually getting. And ultimately consider how much sleep you need. And then dial that back, really start to think about what is my evening routine that enables me to work towards getting to sleep in a good state of mind, so that I do sleep when I need to sleep and I can get up feeling refreshed. So it's all about routine. So sleep might be that it's no tech after a certain time, that it's you go into your bedroom 30 minutes before you're due to sleep and you brush your teeth, even if you know that's been really hard because you felt low, depressed. It's one of the first things that kind of goes. Brush your teeth, put a few clothes away, just start to unwind, build into that sleep routine, and really kind of try and identify, where possible, a specific time in which you'll go to sleep each night, whether it's a weekend, whether it's midweek. Bring some consistency to get that sleep that's going to help you. If you like what you hear, visit my website www.tanyawestontherapy.co.uk and explore a little bit more about how I can help you. And let me know how you get on in the comments in terms of filling your cup. How able are you to fill from your empty cup? Let me know.